there. Much love. Great to see you again. And today we want to touch on the topic of minimalism. Now, what brought this topic up for you? Because I know we both live pretty minimalistic by society standards, but why do you feel it's important to really touch on this?
Because we talk so much about pranic living and lessening, lightening our bodies and our beings, but that's just, we could also lessen and lighten other things in our life. Because every item that we own, we have an energetic attachment to, and it's actually like pulling your energy and taking your energy.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
So this lifestyle, pranic lifestyle, to truly embody the pranic state, you need to learn how the body operates, really learn how the body operates. But not only that, but how to cultivate and maintain energy. So it goes hand in hand with anything that's draining your energy or pulling your energy that is not of benefit. Absolutely. So minimalistic lifestyle, just letting go of items and things that have no benefit in your life, that you're not using or utilizing.
And it's not to say that it's absolutely necessary, like someone can't have materials or be considered materialistic and not live on a pranic wavelength or not be pranic. It's just to say that it makes it a lot more easy, a lot more effortless, when you don't have so many energetic cords pulling at you from so many different directions. I remember before I went to California and found out about, liquidarianism, breatharianism, and pranic living, I didn't know about energy, itself. I was very unaware of what energy is and what energy is when it comes to materials, when it comes to the things that we associate with, when it comes to the things that we use and utilize, when it comes to the things that we might abuse, when it comes to the things that we choose based on the items that we have in our vicinity. So when I moved, I had boxes and boxes and boxes of clothes that I was not wearing. I had books that I was not reading. I had movies that I was not watching. I had video games that I wasn't even playing. And I had just so many things on my person that when I started to slowly let go, one of my friends, he told me, just put the stuff, in a box and put the box in like a corner. And if you don't go to that box after a month, he said, just give it away. Just give it away. Just donate it, put it on the curb or put it on the end of the street, or just don't worry so much about where it's going, because it's just about the energy. And when I started to treat everything equally, when I started to treat everything as energy, letting go of the clothes, the movies, the books, the games, the everything, slowly but surely, things started to change. And then it started to get really dramatic. It started to get really ecstatic. It was like, oh my gosh. It was like, whoa. Certain events, situations, encounters, people were coming into my life that had never been there before, but I had also never imagined that my life could drastically change the way that it did. But I feel like it was definitely only due to the space that allowed for that energy to come into my field. It was really just clearing it up so it could be revealed. So how about you when it came to minimalism? Yeah, talk about it. I see your face. I see the look on your face.
I would say that I was more of a maximalist. Maximalist?
Yeah.
Because I had an abundance. I had all the clothes, all the bags, all the jewelry, all the fancy home decors, all the, just everything. I had a lot of, I was never materialistic. Wasn't so attached to these things, but I did enjoy having nice things, and I was very fashionista. And so that got me into shopping a lot, because I was fashionista. I wanted to, and then I was attached to the materialism. I would even go to Marshalls and discounted stores. I didn't care about the price per se. I just wanted I just love fashion.
Yeah.
I love expressing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted something new.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wear the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that led to me buying new things and new things and new things. I don't want to wear the same thing again. I'm going to wear it maybe again, but in a whole different way with something new that I just bought.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was all, for me, it was like, it was never materialistic per se, but I did shop a lot because of that. But meeting you inspired me because you had all your clothes fit in one suitcase.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, like that was even out of the norm for me. Like I didn't know that was possible for me, you know. But yeah, I started to feel way more mobile too. But you're saying that made an impact on you?
Yes, because of your example, because of what you told me it has done for you, and what I was witnessing it being done for you by doing this, like just allowing the space, allowing more, like you just say movement, like allow for more movement, allowed for more freedom, allowed to clear more space for new things and opportunities to come into your life, into my life. Like I saw that with you. And I don't know. Yeah. I think like it was when I got more into fasting, liquidarianism, and just embodying this whole lifestyle that it just was something I had to do because having an abundance of things just wasn't in alignment anymore with everything else I was doing. Like I was letting go of so much internally, you know, with the body, with the diet, with friends and family, everything that we said, releasing things that was just like the next step to kind of release items, materialism, to allow for more movement, which when I did that, when I started doing that, I actually got the guidance to leave the city, which is crazy movement. Like, okay, you need to leave the city. And it got stronger and stronger, and then one day it was like, no, you need to leave the city now. No. Not when your lease is up now. Okay. And you don't have time, it said. So I was like, okay. And so I've been receiving like guidance in that way since 2012. And so I really listened to it by this point. So yeah, the next day I went and I got a van, and then the day after that I went and canceled my lease in the apartment, and I had 60 days to move out of the apartment. So in that time I had already started the process of getting rid of things, giving away things. But in that time I was like, okay, I'm about to downsize to a van. And this was not really my ego's choice. It was listening to my higher guidance and trusting that I don't know why it's telling me to do this, but I'm gonna do it because I listen to my gut and my guidance, because it never steers me wrong. So I was like, okay. So then at that time I started giving away, and all the things I gave away, I had $400 dresses, I had shoes that were hundreds of dollars, snakeskin stuff, leather stuff. Also, that wasn't in alignment. Like I had all my shoes laid out in the bathroom, and I was like, what shoes? I love all of them. How do I decide what to get rid of? And immediately this message came to me, like, obviously the leather ones, obviously the ones that are not in alignment with what your soul wants to contribute to. So that was easy. That was the first thing. Get away with all the leather, you know, which a lot of like higher quality brands and items are made of leather. But it's not in something I support because I embrace veganism, which isn't just a vegan diet. It's not causing harm to animals. So that was easy. But then it just like, no, I still had too much. And then I had to get rid of more and more. And in those 60 days, then I started getting, again, I didn't sell anything. I just gave it all away. I donated, you know, my dressers to my friend because she had a little daughter. And she had to put them in her room, you know, like.
Okay, good point. So that energy that, you know, the energy in the items and the clothes that you used to wear, you know, even that feeling that you got when you first bought it, now someone else gets that feeling as you're passing it on, as you're paying it forward, as you're transferring that energy from one to the next. You know, like they say that, you know, energy is not created or destroyed, it simply changes form. So you're allowing that form of energy that's been there, that was just hanging in the closet or something. Now someone else is able to receive that form of energy.
Whoever went to the Goodwill got an abundance of fancy clothes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. You know.
But it's also, like you said, the act of just giving
Yeah.
without the expectation of getting anything back. Just giving, just to give. So like that, I gave an abundance of just giving it away. Everyone was like, why are you doing that? You should like post this on eBay. You should have a Shopify account and sell all of your things, you know. You could easily make a lot of money with all the stuff you're just giving away. You're about to go in your van, you could use that money. But I didn't, my focus is never about the money. It's not. Because in doing what's right, money will come to you.
Absolutely.
When you give freely without expectation, money will come to you. Abundance will come to you in many forms, not just money.
Yeah.
So you're actually receiving a whole lot more of abundance and a whole lot more in that way.
And thank you for that testimony. Like, thank you for sharing that, because like you were saying that I was someone that inspired you to start being more minimalistic and, you know, lightening the load and kind of downsizing. Ellie Tom was also one of the people that inspired me, because his big thing was, you know, I got all I need on my back. You know, I'm traveling with everything that I need. And it was awesome just to see someone who had his tent, who had his, you know, like his clothes, who had all these items in this one little tiny little bag, you know, and he was able to trek, he was able to walk. I remember he walked from Van Nuys in Los Angeles all the way up to Chez Nadine in like San Francisco. Like he walked all the way up, you know, to Sonoma County. So he walked, you know, he did, it's not like he drove, he walked, you know, but he was able to do that because he had less on his back. He said the more knowledge you have, the less you need on your back. That was the big thing he had. So even, you know, the parallels or the example to where he might have been hiking like the mountains, and instead of, you know, since he doesn't need, you know, any food or drink, you know, all these other people are carrying jugs of water, boxes, you know, bags of food. They're carrying book bags and sacks and satchels and rucksack and like all this stuff on their back, and they're hiking and they're just climbing this hill, and Ellie Tom's just, you know, it's just him in his clothes, right? You know,
you can go further when you have a lighter load.
So much further. Yeah. So more room to move, more room to maneuver, more room to be free. You know, it's just more freedom. And it just allows for more utility and more mobility and more flexibility in life. Yeah.
Oh, like how you were saying, like he had everything he needed already.
Right.
Which goes in hand with the pranic lifestyle and Breatharianism, is that we have everything we need within.
Exactly.
So that's why I think minimalism also just goes hand in hand for me, because it's just reassuring that you don't need any of these external things.
Exactly.
You don't need 5 backpacks. You don't need 1,000 pairs of shoes.
Right.
You can have 1 pair of shoes or no pair of shoes, because you have your feet.
Yes.
You have everything you need by birth.
And you know, there's such a thing as, they call it decision fatigue. You know, there's an expense of energy.
Time.
Yeah. Like we allocate so much energy and resources and our mental faculties and just our energy bank. If you think of like the fuel in the tank in our energy bank, we're allocating these energy tokens to everything that we do.
Yeah.
You know, just for us to make this video together, we're allocating our energy. You know, we're using our energy to talk to you, you know, to give this message today. You're using your energy when you're reading a book. You're using your energy when you're consuming content, when you're watching a movie. You're using your energy when you're deciding, what should I wear today?
Oh my gosh,
You know?
you know how much time I would spend in the mornings? The night before thinking about it. And then the next day being maybe indecisive and changing 5 times, 10 times before you go out the door.
Right.
And the anxiety that you get from it, and the stress that you get from it.
Yes.
It's so silly.
Yeah.
You know, but like you said, we're expending our energy making this video. And so me not expending my energy and silly things like that. It's silly to me now. You know, me not expending my energy in those ways allows me to expend my energy in other ways, which I actually see of benefit. That had no benefit for me. I mean, now I see that, I mean, you grow from it, right?
Of
so
course.
Everything has benefit in a way. But I'm just allowed to choose what I do with my energy and time indifferently, because you're minimalist, so then you already know what you're going to wear.
Yes.
It's right there. There's less time and energy expended, so you have more time and energy to do other things.
Exactly. So, you know, it seems like the reduction is production.
Yeah.
You know, when you reduce, you can produce much more. You know, there's much more that you can use, so you really have nothing to lose. You know, it's like you just have so much more. It really just comes back to less is more.
Yeah.
Less is more all around. You have more to give, more to allocate, more to use. And yeah, it's all about,
I feel like you said, you have more. For me, I thought of like more stability, even. Like depending less on external stability, like an apartment or clothing, things that we think gives us some stability in life, like full-time job, all these things, 9 to 5, things that we depend on externally for stability. I found when I let those things go, because I also quit my full-time job that I had for 9.5 years managing a day spa. At the same time, after I got the van and gave away everything, I quit my job just a couple months later. And then I went on and had an abundance of new opportunities and exciting times.
Yeah.
But what was I saying?
Yeah. It's like
the stability. Stability.
Yeah,
not depending on external stability allowed me to gain and strengthen this internal stability that I had never known before.
Yes.
Because I was only relying on external, a little bit on internal, like my gut and things like that, kind of, you know, for guidance, but really letting go of all the external things built some new type of, or maybe it was there all along, but I hadn't felt it, this like internal stability. Or some people think they need to do this or that to have stability, but really when you let go of it all, it made me realize, like, I have all the stability I need within me.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
No matter where I am or what I'm doing, I have that stability.
So it gave you that confidence.
Yeah.
Yes. All around. So I trust that you received this message, you know, that to realize when it comes to minimalism, it just makes sense. You know, it allows you to be more mindful. It allows you to utilize your time more efficiently. It allows everything to be more effective and more efficient when there's not so much energy pulling at your mind all the time, when you're not making so many decisions about what you want to do, how do you want to use this and that. You know, when you reduce that, you can produce so much more when you actually have less. And it just, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. And I trust that, you know, this resonated with you, and you might give it a try, you know, just here and there. If you feel like you have an abundance of items or articles or things around you, see what happens when you go without it for a time, or when you start to reduce, when you start to pull back. See what happens when there's not so many things around you, and find out, you know, how your reality can change. So blessings to you, and we'll see you again. Much love.